Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that's everything Broncos and sports topics related. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys. The NFL news on the Bronco front is uh, sketchy, not sketchy. It's swim and at best. So I'm bringing in other topics, but that I'm pretty sure you're going to find interesting, at least as much as I did. Hopefully. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's start out with Noah Fant. Now, former Broncos tight end Noah Fant has had his fifth-year option picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. Fant is the very first player in Seahawks history to have his fifth-year option picked up by Seattle. He is under contract through 2023. Now, that speaks volumes, guys. Think about that. Noah Fant is the very first player that Seattle Seahawks have ever picked up a fifth-year option. Marshawn Lynch? No. Russell Wilson? No. That is amazing. Amazing that Noah Fant, they speak that highly of Noah Fant that they went out and picked up his option for his fifth year. I knew that would be a loss, guys. I knew that would be a loss to Denver when Noah Fant was part of that Russell Wilson trade. I also mentioned in past shows that sometimes you have to give up quality players or player that you don't want to see go, but you have to because you're going after a franchise quarterback. And in this case, the Broncos got their franchise quarterback in Russell Wilson. And in doing so, they had to put Noah Fant on that package deal. I didn't want to see it. Absolutely didn't want to see it. But I'm glad that we got a Russell Wilson. And apparently the Seattle Seahawks are extremely happy to have Noah Fant because they have picked up his fifth-year option. All right, let's go to another former Denver Bronco. Kyle Sloter, former Broncos and Vikings quarterback Kyle Sloter, is playing football again as a starting quarterback. He led his He led his new team, the New Orleans Breakers of the United States Football League, or the USFL, to a 23-17 win over the Philadelphia Stars. Now, I'm happy for Kyle Sloter. I really am. I liked him in Denver. I didn't think he had a fair opportunity. I know that, he was a backup to begin with. He was on the practice squad. I understand that. But I liked his energy. I liked his passion. I liked his drive. And I'm glad to see that he is playing football again. Sure, it's not the NFL, which is the most prestigious football league, but it's also not the XFL, which I never really liked. I enjoy watching the USFL. It's different. It's similar to the NFL, of course. It's still played on a 100-yard field. It still has a lot of the same rules. And I like that. I like the fact that he's playing again. He's who knows? Maybe he'll play really, really well in the USFL. And maybe he'll get a shot back in the NFL. I don't know. I'm just glad to see Kyle Sloter as a starting quarterback playing football again, even though it's not the prestigious NFL. I wish Kyle Sloter all the best. I hope he succeeds, just like in Canadian football. If you remember, Kurt Warner played in the Arena Football League, and he came into the NFL and led the then St. Louis Rams to their first Super Bowl championship. So it can be done, guys. Would I like to see Kyle Sloter back in the NFL? Absolutely. I would actually like to see him on the Broncos, to tell you the truth, to back up Russell Wilson. Not that, that's ever going to happen, but I do like the fact that players can have opportunities to play in the USFL, the Canadian Football League, even the Arena League, that keep their skills honed, and they can work on their skills. They can work on their game, and maybe, just maybe, make it back to the NFL. I wish Kyle Sloter all the best. Keep doing what you're doing, Kyle. You're doing great. All right. Let's go to Dereck Carr. Now, Dereck Carr, the quarterback for Las Vegas Raiders, has had his contract extended for an additional 3 years, keeping him on the Raiders through the 2025 season. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good for Denver. Absolutely not. You got Patrick Mahomes on a 10-year contract. I believe he's got 6 or 7 years left in Kansas City. You've got now you got Dereck Carr through 2025 with the Vegas Raiders. You also have Herbert in Los Angeles Chargers for numerous years. And we have Russell Wilson. I believe we're going to have Russell Wilson for at least 7 years, hopefully more. He wants to play at least 10, so 10 to 12, so that's awesome. But to have Dereck Carr have his contract extended for an additional 3 years just means that the AFC West is not going to get weaker anytime soon. In fact, with the addition of Russell Wilson on the Broncos, the AFC West, in my opinion, is now the toughest division in all of NFL. In the entire league. It has to be. Look at the quarterbacks and the players we have. You have Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City. You have Dereck Carr in Vegas. You have Justin Herbert in LA, and you have Russell Wilson in Denver. I mean, you could try and name another division that has those 4 top QBs in the same division. There is none. There's absolutely none. The AFC West is going to be a cutthroat division, in my opinion. We play the Chargers twice, the Raiders twice, and the Chiefs twice. If all 4 teams in that division split their games against the AFC West, the most you're going to win is 3. You're going to lose 3. So you have automatically 3 losses right there out of the gate. That means that a team like Denver or LA or Vegas or Kansas City has to win 2/3 of their games away from the division in order to be successful. So at best, if you go 3-3 in your division and go 500 in order to make the playoffs guaranteed on a 17-game schedule now, you're going to have to win 11 or 12 games. It used to be 10 was a magic number, but that was when there was 16 games and it was 10-6. Now, if you go 10-7, I'm saying the magic number now increases to 11. So if you've already lost 3, you cannot lose more than 4 more games. More than 3 more games. Because you have to go 11-6. The magic number now is 11. So that means the Broncos, theoretically, if they go 50-50 in the AFC West, that means that the games that they play outside of their division, they can only lose 3. That is a very, very, very tall order. Not impossible by any stretch. No, not at all. But it does mean a very, very tough division. Do I think that the division winner in the AFC West is going to be 11-6? I don't think so. I would hope that Denver would be going 11-6, but I don't think so. I think with this division being as tough as it is, with these teams with quality, top-notch quarterbacks, I think realistically, winning the division could be 9-8. It could be 10-7. I don't really feel that it's going to be 11-6. I mean, that is a very, very, very tough order. Do I feel that Denver can reach that number, 11-6? Sure they can. So can the Chargers. So can the Raiders, and so can the Chiefs. That's my point. But with Dereck Carr in the Vegas fold for an additional 3 years, definitely makes this division the strongest, hardest division in all of football, including any football league. I don't care if it's the NFL or not. This is the toughest division across the board. All right, I move on. Let's go to Tom Brady's final touchdown pass? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, because Brady is back. We all know that. Tom Brady's final touchdown pass of the ball that was sold for $518,000 has been nullified. The agreement was reached in part due to Brady's return to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the football is still being sought as a piece of NFL history and may be sold privately through Leland's auction. Okay. Does that mean that the person that has the football now lost out on 518,000? Well, yes, that's true. He has lost out, but he still has the football and is planning on selling it privately because it is NFL history. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see that again, where a quarterback throws a final touchdown pass in a Super Bowl and then retires and then comes out of retirement and the football that was sold for a record price is nullified. I don't think we'll ever see that again. Any more than we'll see that in any sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, hockey, whatever. That was totally unprecedented. But there is another story, another part of the 40 days that Tom Brady was retired. So let me get into that. This is very, very interesting on a negative side. Here it is. The Miami Dolphins. Apparently, the Dolphins wanted Tom Brady as their quarterback, and Brady wanted the Dolphins. Therefore, in order to have that dream come true, Tom Brady had to retire from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the lawsuit by Brian Flores blew up that mutual pursuit. Back in 2020, owner Ross tried to get Flores together with an unnamed quarterback, which turned out to be Tom Brady. Uh-oh, that's tampering. Because in 2020, Tom Brady was on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was not retired then. And the owner, Ross, of the Miami Dolphins, wanted then Brian Flores, the head coach, to coax, coerce, do whatever, entice unnamed quarterback, which turned out to be Tom Brady, to join him on his yacht and work out a deal to retire from Tampa Bay and then work out a deal and a contract to come back as a Miami Dolphins quarterback. But in order for that to happen, like I said, he had to retire. And then he had to have his contract released, or I should say he would then be released from Tampa Bay as their quarterback. And then he would be free to sign with the Miami Dolphins. But the Brian Flores lawsuit nixed that whole deal. That whole pursuit was then mutually decided upon that it wouldn't be a good idea. You think? You think? First off, it's tampering. Absolutely tampering. I don't know what ramifications are going to come from this. I really don't. I don't know if the owner, Ross, is going to have his wrist slapped. Is he going to be fined? Are the other owners of the 31 other team, well, 30 because we don't have an owner in Denver yet, are they going to pursue this to bring a suspension or a fine or something of that nature, draft choices lost? I don't know. But I do know that is tampering because Brady was under contract of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he thought, well, if I retire and then I have my contract, I'm released from my contract in Tampa Bay, I can go to the Dolphins. But why? Why Miami? Really? So you trying to win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams? Okay, that's your prerogative. But you can't do it illegally against NFL rules. You can't. So in this instance, I'm glad Brian Flores, I I'm glad it blew up. I'm glad the lawsuit caused this to blow up. Because if this were to happen and this were to go through, what's to stop other players from doing the same thing? There isn't. There isn't. They would continue to do it because it was already done once. And somehow, Tom Brady is always involved in some type of illegal, underhanded, pushing the envelope, so to speak, conspiracy, whatever. Go back to New England. Remember the Deflate Gate? Remember that? That was with Tom Brady. There you go. There you go. And then this with the Dolphins. So, I don't like underhandedness. I don't. And I really hope that Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, has some type of repercussion from this. I really do. You can't allow things like this to happen. And if Brian Flores had not pursued that lawsuit in connection with him not being hired as head coach elsewhere, who knows? Who knows? Maybe Tom Brady will be wearing a Dolphin jersey instead of returning back to Tampa Bay. Wow. So I guess Tom Brady never really wanted to retire officially. He only wanted to retire to get out of his contract with Tampa Bay and go to the Dolphins. Wow. Say what you want. Tom Brady is a really, really great quarterback. Absolutely. But he is also very devious, very underhanded, and very non-forthright and truthful. What can I say? What can I say? Comes from the Belichick family. And as far as, coaching and underhandedness. Whew. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to, Tom Brady again. But I promise you, this is the last story on this show this week involving Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. What do they all have in common? Well, they all are going to be playing golf. Why is that interesting? Well, first off, I enjoy golf. Second of all, because it's for charity. It's a head-to-head competition, team against team. And ironically, all four of these golfers are all four of these quarterbacks are very, very good golfers. I believe the worst handicap is 11. And for those of you who don't know golf, that means if the par is 72, which is a standard 18-hole golf course, that means that instead of shooting 72, you're shooting 83. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. That's great. And so here's the story. These four top NFL quarterbacks will be going head-to-head as two teams in this year's The Match golf competition. It will take place on June 1st on TNT at 6:30 Eastern Time. It will be played in Las Vegas at the Wynn Golf Course. Now, like I said, this is for charity. And it's great to see athletes be able to play different sports and be really good at it. I saw Aaron Rodgers last year play in the match, Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau. And I'll tell you what, that Aaron Rodgers, that guy could play some golf. He sank a 12-foot putt, to win the match. And like I said, it's all for charity. It's for fun. It's great camaraderie. They're mic'd up so you can hear the comments and the ribbing and the good wholesome competition away from football on a totally different playing field, a totally different sport, and really, really having a good time. I'm not sure how much of you out there are watching this show that are into golf, really care about golf. Could really care less about these four quarterbacks, but I'll be watching because, like I said, I enjoy golf. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the bantering back and forth that they do, and I totally appreciate the fact that these four guys can go out and do what they do on the NFL football field and have that same type of success on the golf course. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to showcase their talents in a different sport, as well as for charity. So I'll be watching June 1st, and I hope. And who would I like to see? Well, it's Team Brady and Rodgers against Team Mahomes and Josh Allen. Well, I have to go for the AFC, obviously. So I like to see Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen win this one. So we'll see what happens, and I'll be watching, like I said, and of course after the competition on my show in June, I'll definitely be bringing this topic in. All right, guys, let's move on to Marshawn Lynch. That's right, the Marshawn Lynch from the Seattle Seahawks retired. All right, Marshawn Lynch, retired running back from the Seattle Seahawks, has become a minority owner in the NHL's Seattle Kraken. Terms of Lynch's investment were not disclosed. Lynch said it's something he never imagined, but owning a part of a team is something special. Now, Marshawn Lynch, obviously played for the Seattle Seahawks. And like he said it's something special to be part owner. Now he's on the other side. He's on the management side of things. And now the Seattle Kraken is an expansion team in the National Hockey League. And a Kraken is a type of ocean. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a sea creature or whatever, but that's a strange name anyways. But any case, he's now part owner of the Seattle Kraken NHL expansion team. Now, unlike Las Vegas Golden Knights in their first year, the Knights made the playoffs. The Kraken are already eliminated, so they will not make the playoffs. And that leads me into my new segment, and here it is. That's right, guys. A new segment, the Colorado Avalanche update. And here it is. The Colorado Avalanche have 6 games remaining till the playoffs, which begin May 2nd. The Avalanche have clinched home ice advantage in the Western Conference playoffs. Their record is an incredible 55 wins, 15 losses, and 6 overtime losses. I'll get into all of this. For a total of 116 points. They are a plus 87 points in goals over their opponents. The Eastern Conference leading Florida Panthers are just 2 points behind with 114 for home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup Finals. Colorado had their 9-game winning streak snapped last night against the Washington Capitals. Final score, 3-2. All right, guys, here it is. I am going to be doing a Colorado Avalanche update periodically as we get closer to the NHL playoffs. Now, for those of you who do not follow hockey, don't really understand hockey, I am an absolute huge Avalanche fan. As you can tell, I have put up the Avalanche flag in the background. That doesn't mean I'm not a Bronco. This is still Broncos breakdown. Don't ever get that confused. This is still Broncos breakdown. But the Avalanche are headed to the playoffs. And like I said, I'm a huge Avalanche fan. And I could not be happier to be bringing this segment into Broncos breakdown. Now, for those of you, like I said, who don't understand hockey, don't understand what the points mean and what the record is, let me get into that. Okay, Avalanche have won 55 games. Okay, every win in hockey, every win is 2 points. It's not about what your record is. It's about how many points you have. Realistically, you could win your division with less wins than the second place team in your division or your conference. And the reason being is the third number, 6. Remember I said the Avalanche are 55 wins, 15 losses, and 6 overtime losses. Every time you go to overtime, if you lose, you gain a point. So therefore, you take the 55 wins is 110 points. You take the 6 overtime losses for 6 points, makes it 116. That's what the Avalanche have in their points. They have 116. The Eastern Conference leading Florida Panthers have 114. Okay, so let me put this in NFL perspective. So let's say that the Denver Broncos win their conference. Okay, they win the AFC conference. They would have home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. However, in the Super Bowl, unlike hockey, the Super Bowl is determined, who the last team was that had home field. So if it was the NFC that had home field, then the following season be the AFC. Doesn't work that way in the NHL. It goes by points, and it's called the President's Trophy. If you win if you have the most points at the end of the season, which is 6 games remaining, if Colorado has the most points at the end of the season, they will have home ice advantage throughout, not only just the Western Conference, but in the Stanley Cup Finals. And every series, there's 4 series in order to win the Stanley Cup. You have to win 16 games. That's right, guys, 16 games after the regular season in order to win the Stanley Cup. It is the hardest trophy to win in all of sports. The hardest trophy. You have potentially 4 7-game series in order to win the trophy, the Stanley Cup. Therefore, the Colorado Avalanche right now hold a 2-point lead over Florida for the President's Trophy to have home ice advantage throughout. But they have 6 games remaining in order to get that accomplished. The majority of their games are on the road, which is because they just finished a 4-game homestand where they went 3-1. Avalanche last year won the President's Trophy, and they were knocked out in the second round. In fact, the last 4 seasons, Colorado has been knocked out in all 4 seasons in the second round. The Avalanche are hungry. Avalanche want this Stanley Cup. The last time they won a Stanley Cup was 2001. That is 21 years ago. It's time to bring back Lord Stanley Cup to Colorado, Ball Arena, Denver. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And let me remind you that Tuesday at 4 p.m. on YouTube, my channel, Broncos Breakdown, will be posted at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. It goes 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on MHRT Network on Tuesday, live is the 5280 podcast going live 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have the Wild Wild West featuring a fan from every AFC West team, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. That gets posted at 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Thursday, we have Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast featuring Johnny Bucky and his really good friend, Isaiah Henderson. That is live every Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Friday, my show, Broncos Breakdown on MHRT Network, is posted 4, 5, 6, and 7. Guys, tune in to the shows. You'll love it. You'll find one that you really enjoy and subscribe to them. Subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you on Friday. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.